At the height of its power. Rome, Roman. Empire, emperor. Stretch, border. 1/4 of. Population, the rule of the Caesars. Peace, battle. War, Spain, Spanish. Field, wheat. Frighten, daydream. Crash, as he had imagined. Proud, armor. Beyond, attack. Enormous, general, commanding general. Trust, among. Frequently, officers. Second in command. Anything's better than at the edge of. Anger, stare. Order, carriage. At the height of its power, the great Roman Empire stretched from the deserts of Africa to the borders of northern England. Over 1/4 of the world's population lived and died under the rule of the Caesars. In the winter of AD 180, Emperor Marcus Aurelius's 12-year war against the people of Germania was coming to an end. There was one last battle to win. Then there would be peace across the Roman Empire. The man walked through the sun-warmed Spanish field, his hand touching the wheat. He looked past apple trees to a farmhouse. He had a child laughing somewhere near. A bird flew into the branch of a tree close to him, and they looked at each other. The man smiled. Time limit, 1 minute. Suddenly, the sound of shouts and horses frightened the bird, and it flew up into the air. The noise broke through the man's daydream, and he came back to the real world with a crash. He was not dressed in farmer's clothes, as he had imagined, but in the proud armor of the Roman army. The field was burnt and muddy from battle, without a green leaf on it. Beyond the tree line ahead, somewhere in the forest, the German armies were preparing to attack again. The man knew that behind him an enormous army waited, the Roman army. 40,000 men, his army. Maximus the farmer was Maximus the commanding general of the army of the north for one more battle. One last battle, and then he would go home to Spain. Time limit, 1 minute. He turned his horse and rode back to his men. 30-year-old Maximus was a great general, a man they could trust. He moved among them, checking that they were ready for battle. He looked back frequently to the line of trees. Some of his officers were warming themselves around the fire, and Maximus joined them. "Still nothing?" he asked Quintus, his second in command. Quintus shook his head. "He's been gone for almost 2 hours," he said. "Why are they taking so long?" "They only have to say yes or no." A young officer gave Maximus a bowl of hot soup. He drank it slowly as they talked, always keeping one eye on the line of trees. "Snow in the air," said Maximus. "I can smell it." Anything's better than this German rain, Quintus said, looking out at the mud in front of his men. Time limit 1 minute. Suddenly, there was a shout. "He's coming!" All eyes turned to the trees. A horseman rode out toward the Roman army. There was something strange about the way he was riding. Maximus was the first to understand. "They say no," he said. As the horse came closer, the other men could see what had happened. The Roman messenger was tied to his horse. His head had been cut off. Maximus knew now that what he had to do. Life was suddenly simple. Far away, at the edge of the trees, a German chief appeared. In one hand, he was holding the head of the messenger. He screamed his anger at the Roman army and threw the head toward them. Maximus's men stared back and waited for their general's order to attack. Time limit 55 seconds.